That one hurt. So Bring Her Back is A24's newest film, and it doesn't release for 2 weeks, but my theater was doing an early screening yesterday, so I got to see it. This movie tells the story of a brother and sister as they witness their new foster mother take part in a terrifying ritual. I don't want to give away too much of the plot because the trailers for this movie are pretty vague, and I think the best way to experience this film is to go in knowing as little as possible. This movie is directed by the Philippou brothers, I believe that's how you say their name, and they also directed a movie not too long ago called Talk to Me, which is a movie that I enjoyed. I thought it was pretty good, but I definitely thought there was some room for improvement. So I was really excited to see what these guys could do with a little more experience behind the camera. And I gotta say, not only is Bring Her Back better than Talk to Me in almost every way, it might be the best horror movie that we have gotten this year so far. This has everything you want in a horror movie. It's unsettling, it gets under your skin, it has great performances, great scares, and it builds to a third act that had me on the edge of my seat. You can tell that between their last film and this film that these guys have become much better writers. The characters in this film are so rich with development and they have such a great backstory, and through great performances from the entire cast, you can feel those hardships weighing on each and every character. And not only are the performances great, this movie is just disturbing as hell. It goes to incredibly dark places and pulls absolutely no punches. A buddy of mine said that he thought this was the darkest A24 film since Hereditary, and I kind of agree with him. Not only is it dealing with some incredibly dark subject matter that I won't get into because it teeters on spoilers, but there are scenes that are hard to watch. This movie will assault your senses. It could be disturbing imagery in one scene or creepy sound design in another. It takes your senses and assaults them. And it never lets up throughout the entire film. It just goes deeper and darker and more disturbing. And by the end, it really affected me in a way that I didn't think it was going to. Complete side note, there is one scene in this movie involving a knife that gave me like a physical reaction. It was so hard to watch. There's just scenes like that littered throughout this entire film. It's everything that you could want when you're watching a horror movie. And one thing that could get overlooked when it comes to this film, but something that I think is extremely important in storytelling, is this movie doesn't explain anything. When it comes to the supernatural aspect of this film, the movie lets you figure it out. It doesn't spoon feed you anything. It doesn't have that scene like a lot of horror movies where the characters break everything down and they explain everything that has happened and they explain everything that's going to happen and they explain what's going on and why the entity is doing what it's doing and why things are happening. This movie does not have that scene. It lets you decide what's going on and how it's affecting the characters. It's a very interesting technique that I haven't seen a horror movie do in quite some time. And I really appreciated that this film didn't beat me over the head with explanations to what was going on. It allowed me to figure things out. And this movie is so much more engaging because of that. When it comes to the characterization or the supernatural, it doesn't tell you everything that you need to know. It shows you things and it allows you to uncover those stones and see what's underneath. And it made the viewing experience just that much more impactful because I was so into everything that was happening from scene one to the very last scene in the film. There's also a lot of great imagery in this film, a lot of storytelling with circles and different objects and things being in and out of focus. The way that they combined characterization and storytelling and imagery in this movie was a thing of beauty. I know these guys have only made 2 movies, but it seems like they've grown a lot between their last film and this movie. The only real gripe that I have with this movie is there's 3 or 4 scenes that feel just a little bit too convenient. Characters do things and get away with certain things that I don't think they would get away with in real life. But other than those couple of scenes, I was all in on this movie. I think this movie is a must watch for people that are saying A24 needs another hit or that they've lost a step, because this one puts them back on the map. And with that said, I'm going to give Bring Her Back a 4.2 out of 5. This one's really good, guys. You got to check this one out when it comes out in 2 weeks. I'll be very curious to see what people think because it is extremely dark and very grotesque. But for me, that's everything that I want in a horror movie, and this one hit me right where it hurts. That's going to be all for this video, guys. I'm going to be out of town for the next 5 days, so probably no reviews coming up, but as soon as I get back, I will post my review for Mission Impossible. I can't wait on that one, and I'll see you guys in the next review.